We're back in that we're not at all back at all. Hi everyone, this is us. It's Dungeon Not Included. Yay! Your favorite podcast, probably. Just gonna go there. I'm Frank, and there's Brennan over there. Nah, pointed the wrong way. Let's do it again. Brennan, Alex, and Rebel. We are Dungeon Not Included, and we are off today. We're not. This is not a live episode. As you can tell with our festive hats, we're doing a special thing, which one of us wants to explain. Alex, do you want to explain it?
Do I want to explain it?
Yeah. So you're the one who talks.
So we decided that we just have to make some contingent episodes for episodes or times where we can't actually be there. So we've got this mini arc for you. It's going to be a couple episodes long of Pasión. I'm gonna get the. I don't want to get the.
I didn't even think you were gonna pronounce it.
Nope. I want to make sure I get it right, and it's. I just want to get my. What's the?
No.
Pasión de las Pasiones. There we go.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't want to do like a loss where I should say Los or whatever. I want to make sure I say it right. Mm-hmm. Which is a soap opera, Spanish soap opera inspired PBTA game. And we're looking forward to playing this, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
No, very much looking forward to it, but I don't know where to
playing it.
Yeah. Very much looking forward.
Festive hats for the occasion.
Yeah. Rebel, what is a role-playing game?
A role-playing game is when you don't actually do anything interesting in your life, so you have to pretend like you're a cool fantasy guy who like
put that in your intro. Kickstart that role-playing game intro, guys. Yeah, no, that's more succinct than anything I've ever read in a book like that. Brandon, you actually are going to be running this session for us. So
I am.
Can you tell us a little bit about the game we're going to play?
Yes, it is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. And it is inspired by telenovelas from South America, Central America. And it is, about people whose hearts are burned with desire. Pasión de las Pasiones.
Absolutely. Yes. All right.
The passions of the passionate.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. So I'm excited. This is our session 0. We're going to talk about the game we're about to play. We're probably not going to play today at all. And just so you all of you who are watching or listening to this, who are craving that actual play experience, you're going to get it. It's going to be a lot of dead air, a lot of thinking about numbers, and awkward transitions.
We'll be like, oh, hold on, the dice roller isn't loading for me. Give me a second.
It's going to be super authentic.
Yeah.
Guys, it's going to be super
and we're going to be like, wait, is that how the move works? Or is it different? And we'll spend 5 minutes consulting it.
Although in this case, since none of the people on the show were involved in creating the game, we may actually know how to play it.
Yeah.
When any of us was involved in any way, we're like, I don't remember what I was thinking. So, all right, let's talk. Let's talk playbooks.
Yeah, let's talk. First of all, let's sort of talk about what setting we want to do, because this is very flexible as far as that goes. The 2 free settings that they've released are one of them is essentially a school.
Like an elementary school or
no, more like a academy for gifted individuals run by a strange psychic in a wheelchair kind of school.
Perfect. Love that.
Your classic Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Yeah.
That's right.
That's what we were all thinking. Yeah.
And then the other one is set in a posh upper class hotel. So with many celebrity guests. So that is and wealthy guests. So those are the two that are provided with the game, but that's not what we necessarily need to decide on either of those. We can come up with our own setting if we want.
Okay. I don't mind the posh hotel. I don't.
No, that's kind of fun. Or is there anything posh hotel adjacent that we could like slightly switch it to?
Yeah, I'd like to give it a little bit of our own spin, if possible.
So
something that we'd all be really interested in.
The opposite of a posh hotel.
A dungeon. We'll do a dungeon for.
No, dungeons are not included in this podcast.
Those cost extra.
Yeah.
That's a Patreon level no one wants to get into. So, so we had talked a bit about potentially doing this at a con. Are we still like that's a hotel?
I don't hate the con. I just think that we just make sure we do some very good safety mechanic stuffy in there for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know before we started recording, Alex, you were saying that you were worried about setting it at a place that had perhaps a history of sexual harassment. But I think because everyone's heart is burning with passion.
Yeah.
Yes. There. I think we're good. Good there. I just want to make sure that we're all making sure that consent checks are in, safety mechanic and all that stuff. I think you know each other well enough to do whatever, but I do think it's worth reiterating to the audience at home that we do go over that stuff and have these sort of conversations before we do a game, because I think those things are super important and something that should be regular things at every table.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that we all kind of know each other, let's lead by example and actually like draw it out and be very explicit on what we're doing in the zero session. And also, there's other fun things to do in a zero session, like making sure we all want to play the same game. Okay, yeah, cool. A high-end convention with lots of guest stars that are from the geek world.
I love that.
Like a Comic-Con kind of thing.
Yeah, I was thinking like a San Diego Comic-Con gone like not mainstream, but like the heyday, like a classic Comic-Con where like you got to meet and greet these amazing people who actually mingled amongst you, as opposed to being like behind the wall of people of like long lines and queues and stuff like that.
Do we use real celebrities, or are we coming up with our own fake celebrities?
Let's make up our fake ones.
Celebrities.
I agree. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
And if we are making up our own, just throwing it out there, we don't have to do this. Are we setting this on Earth? Or could this be like a con in a fantasy world,
Alex?
which could be funny?
Alex, I had a feeling you were going to bring this up.
I would actually. I think it would be really cool if this was like the only time we did a Dungeons and Dragons kind of setting. We don't.
But a convention at a Dungeons
I like
and
it.
Dragons setting.
Yeah.
All right.
They
It's in the Dungeons and Dragons world, but it's a convention for celebrities.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am okay with that. My pre-prepared argument was for us to make it completely simple, like no magic, no mysticism, because of the nature of what this is going to be. It's going to be like slotted into a random other game, so we don't want to like have competing magic, or like what if like if we were playing the vampire game and then we had a sick day and we aired one of these episodes, if one of us is a vampire in this too, it would be weird, or not fun. But the D&D thing is immune to that because we're not going to be playing D&D. So I do like that too. I'm okay either way.
Okay, because I could also swing like urban fantasy where like magic isn't real, but you still have things like tieflings and goblins and elves and stuff. But like they all use cell phones and commute to work in cars and stuff like that.
Also, you could do something along the lines of, in order to eliminate any sort of warring factions, this is a convention where everyone gets together, so there's some sort of orb that eliminates magic. Like, no one can use it when inside, and that, like, magic's off the table. It's no longer a thing because this is a neutral territory, a neutral zone. No one can do X, Y, or Z.
You must ponder this orb to enter this con.
Indeed. So, Frank, are any of these ideas jumping out at you?
I like straight, passionate humans in our real world, but fictionalized. I probably like that the best, but I also like this is a convention for D&D. I don't know what that would look like, but I'm fine with not knowing what that looks like until we see it. Vecna is definitely the guest of honor. He got real popular recently. For some reason.
If you're leaning towards plain old humans, I'm down for that as well.
Same. We can totally do plain people. We haven't actually done a campaign where we aren't. Have we done a campaign where we aren't just creatures of some kind?
No, because in
fucking Dracula.
But they were like space sci-fi.
That's super mundane.
Yeah.
Well, like even Runners in the Shadows, which is like the closest real world equivalent, had like magic and
I think all of them have a lot of supernatural elements to it. Like you could argue that vampire because it was set in the real world, but you're a vampire.
It's vampires.
Vampires. Yeah.
All right, so
I don't know.
Let's do it.
I'm okay with Brennan making the final choice on that, just because like the prep, I would assume some of it falls on Brennan, and if we're like, that's not the way.
A little bit of it does, because what I want to do is create a setting document for us to look at before we actually start playing. So we can sort of work out some of the details as we go. As people are picking out characters.
Just a reminder, we do have a private chat that we use to say things that are not worthy of the listeners or viewers. If you want access to our private chat, you have to pay into our Patreon. If you want our usernames or passwords to check our text messages. Yeah. No, this is really creepy. No, just proving that this is actual play. Brendan, is your mic queued up correctly? Do you think it's the right one?
Can you hear me, or is it too
now
far
I
away?
can hear you.
It's just
I just moved my mic over.
Got it. Yeah,
your mic was way over there.
My mic was too far from my face.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I can still hear you, so I don't think we have to start over because we had 13 minutes of gold, folks.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That was
pure, unfiltered gold.
Yes, and I don't know how to wear a top hat. If you know how to wear a top hat, message us. But remember, I'm not going to read it live.
I think it usually helps if you don't wear a headset underneath your top.
Oh, you don't think they had headsets back in Ripper time, in Abe Lincoln time?
Lincoln time.
Oh, the top hat people.
You know who wears a top hat?
I said Ripper time and Abe Lincoln time. So those two people.
Honestly, those are kind of the opposite ends of the
There are
spectrum.
two genders. Ripper and Abe Lincoln.
I identify as a Mr. Darcy, so.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. I forgot about it. All right, yeah, okay. If we're okay with normal people, I'm definitely okay with it. Thank you.
All right.
So my other question is: are the hats we're wearing going to be tied in at all, or are we just wearing hats?
I might find it too distracting if our hats were indicative of who we are. I'm not a smart. We have a baby in the house and a cat in the studio. I'm not a smart man anymore. Everything I'm saying right now and pitching for this podcast is how do you make it simpler on me?
I think we should tie it to our hats to confuse Frank, and then we should switch hats every time we record.
Mail each other hats? I'm in. I'm totally in. All right.
Oh, I meant like switch to a different hat in our house, but I would let like we could just go around the horn. You know, I'll take the beanie, and Alex can have my sun hat, and you know.
Yeah, I'm indifferent towards the hat. I've imposed my will too much on my friends. We could do whatever you want with the hats or the characters.
So are we
Frank,
still
when
talking
have you
about
ever been shy about imposing your will on your friends?
right?
Oh.
No, never.
That's not true. That's not true.
So are we still talking about a convention then?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like convention.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay. So the first thing is basically what the show is about. If someone was describing the show, what would they be likely to say about it? So it's that soap opera that's set at a convention. Seems like that's good enough for now.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know much about soap operas or telenovelas. So basically what I know, like, is it General Hospital is the one set in the hospital? Yeah,
Yes.
it's like,
I'd hope so.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I could be thinking of like not a soap opera and instead just a medical drama show. You know? So, but like, you know,
that's
General
interesting.
Hospital is set in a is a soap opera set in a hospital.
Yeah, I think there's very little differences between most like melodrama, primetime melodrama, and soap operas, except for production value. Meaning, like soap operas put out new episodes every day, every weekday, for like 50 years. Like some of these are going back to the radio for like radio. So I think that's so there's like the illusion of change is a big deal on those shows.
I would argue that the difference between a soap opera and like a drama is how wild they let shit get, you know, because like The Secret, like I was watching, I think it was Days of Our Lives, where like a woman was giving birth to a baby and her friend was there trying to help her, but her friend was secretly the devil and was trying to steal her baby, you know, like
that was Sierra giving birth to the baby that she was having with Ben, and that was Allie, whose twin brother from a twin brother, same mom, different fathers, mind you, because of soap opera, had also been possessed by the devil. Days of Our Lives, that is Salem, also has a major hospital as part of it, and Port Charles is the setting of General Hospital. The hospital just happens to be one of the many places in Port Charles they visit.
Okay. That kind of proves my point, right? Like,
well, maybe Alex should be running this game.
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, there could be a lot of nuance difference between telenovela and like Days of Our Lives and General Hospital, and I'm not confident in that. I don't really watch a lot of telenovelas to know.
I don't think you're watching a actual play podcast to get that. Yeah.
Like I don't think it's like analogous to being like, oh, I watched the British Office and the American Office, and that's the same. Like I don't know if it's that, whatever. But I think a lot of the same story beats are probably there.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the playbooks is The Twin, which I know is like a huge thing in American soap operas because, you know, you have that person who's like, oh, here's our hero. He's like a good stand-up guy. And here's his secret evil twin who's trying to take over his life and steal all his glory and whatever, right?
Behind the scenes, you've got an actor who's like, I want to do something different. Can I just be a bad guy for a couple episodes?
Well,
all right.
That's a good segue, actually, Frank,
Yeah.
into the next thing we need to talk about, which is the meta layer. That this is a show that we are simulating. So, how long has this show been running, and how has the audience of the show interacted with it up till now?
If I may,
Yeah.
Days of Our Lives just did their 15,000th episode, and not long after the 15,000th, it was announced that they are no longer going to be airing it on television anymore. It's going to be a Peacock streaming exclusive, which is causing a huge kerfuffle because a lot of their target audience aren't those who use apps regularly. So there's a large And then the other side of that is there's a lot of elderly people who are like, there's so much ageism in this conversation right now that it's unbelievable. It's interesting. But I think that's not a bad place to start. Is the show is still popular, but is it still popular enough to be on mainstream television?
Ooh,
all right, so
Interesting.
I got two pitches for this.
Yeah.
Theoretically, one is I like the idea of it being a really, really long running show because it makes no sense. If this is set at a convention, why would we have 1,000 episodes of this? Which I think would be great because that almost feeds the next question of what does our audience think? If they're forcing us to keep making this, even though it defies logic that we would be still in this convention. Two,
because I feel
you've been to conventions the last forever.
There's a certain amount of suspension of disbelief when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? Do I believe that this kind of wild and crazy shit happens every day at a hospital? No. Am I still going to watch General Hospital? Probably.
Absolutely. But when you look at Community, right? They were in a community college for however many years, 6 years or whatever it was. Right. But a convention should still last 3 days. But all right, the other pitch, the other direction is backing on what Alex said, who I think is still with us.
I hope so.
Yes, I am.
Yes. So my brain farted, but I got it. No. What if we are the replacement show for a soap opera that had been on for 50 years? So they moved to streaming or they got canceled or whatever, and we got upgraded and we're the young upstarts and people hate us.
I was gonna suggest that we were a fairly young telenovela because most of these have been going on since like Alex said, since there wasn't television, it was just a radio drama. So I think it would be interesting to be a new entry into the game. And I think with the convention aspect, it would make a lot of sense. Because, we're trying to, connect with that younger audience. So we're trying to, tap into the things they care about, like Comic-Con, I think. I think that's what the kids are into.
Yeah, that's what the youngs like.
That's the young ones. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm good for it.
All right. So it's an attempt to draw in a younger audience.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds awesome. Will the PCs, of course, your characters won't know this information. They will act like they are characters rather than having meta knowledge. But you as players can guide them knowing this about the show.
That's awesome.
All right. So we're going to begin character creation. We're going to have everybody look at the playbooks and throw out what they're interested in doing. Oh, we lost Alex.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
I think he may just be stepping out temporarily to adjust.
To fix some things. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime. Oh,
oh, there he is.
Sorry. It turns out I can't change my avatar without logging out, and I didn't know that until I hit the button.
Oh.
So we're gonna have we're gonna have the wrong avatar up for a little bit until I can get this settled and figured out.
That's fine.
That's okay.
We are not runners in the shadows, despite my avatar.
I mean, like, we could be cosplaying as Runners in the Shadows. We are.
What if we're fans?
So
We're
good.
here for the Dungeon
Oh.
Not Included podcast panel.
I was just about to suggest that, baby. We like all our cosplaying characters from the previous pod.
Well, I think
my
everybody's going to
God.
be part of the con in some way.
Right. Either working it or they're a celebrity.
That's correct.
100%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because that gives you all that behind the scenes juicy action.
Oh, yeah. You know, the drama of trying to figure out where all these booths are going to be set up.
That's right. Mm.
So sexy.
I'm hearing music in the back of my head of like the dun dun dun. For me, it's Young and the Restless. So dun dun dun. But we're looking over at like booths and tables set up, and it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So has everybody taken a look at the play sets?
Yes.
Proud.
That was a very guilty yes.
I have.
That was-
I think I know what I want to be. If anyone else, unless anyone objects, I would.
Because I absolutely
Go ahead
have not.
Go ahead and say what you
No,
want.
not bad.
I would like to be the twins. The El Guillermo. Guillermo. I don't know.
El Gemelo.
El Guillermo.
Emelo.
Yes. I would like to be the twins, and because there's only 3 of us, I don't want to force anybody here to be my identical twin. I actually think it would be funnier if a like celebrity NPC is my twin, and I look just like some famous person, but I'm just not. I'm a schlub, kinda.
Mm.
Okay.
I-
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that the celebrity is the NPC twin.
I think that's great. Also because it brings in it immediately brings in a 4th character. Right?
Yeah.
Like with a lot of this stuff, there's only 3 players, so we are kind of limited when we play these games. So having an important NPC is really good off the bat. I like that.
Cool.
Since you took, is it Hemelo? Is the G soft? I'm not sure.
It might be. I think
don't
it's
know
soft in Spanish, but that's just me.
I don't know enough about the rules of Spanish.
El Gemelo,
El Gemelo?
maybe.
Because Guillermo is a hard
Yep.
G. But
Yeah,
That's true.
for those of you watching this, you are going to get a decent amount of butchering, but at least we're going to be respectful about it.
We'll try to.
we're going to try and pronounce it correctly. Please feel free to let us know if we're pronouncing it incorrectly, and we'll fix our pronunciation.
We will not be able to because this is all in can, but we will tweet an apology very soon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. You know what? I will, in between episodes, I will ask my my friend who is actually from Spain how it's supposed to be pronounced. So next time we come in, we will have the correct pronunciation.
That's cool. All right. The other ones are a little easier to pronounce, so it's not going to be as
Right.
big a problem, I think.
I know how to pronounce the rest of things.
Yeah. So which one were you thinking of, Frank?
Oh man, I downloaded the play sets instead of the play books. I'm just looking through them now. But there's a lot of fun stuff. So many options. Oh man.
So
I don't want to be El Jefe, do I? No,
I
I
was kind
don't.
of split between 2, either La Belle. Hold on, let me look at it so I get the La Belleza or El Jefe. So
Okay.
if you were drawn to one of those, I'll pick the other.
What was the first one? I'm sorry.
La
La
Belleza.
Belleza.
Graceful and unattainable.
Yeah.
Set hearts ablaze with need.
I want there to be an El Jefe in this, but I don't want to play the Jefe. I just want because
I'll
that's
be
like
El Jefe.
instant. Yes. All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
As long as you really are interested in that.
I do want to play El Jefe.
I
would
want
say-
I want you to play El Jefe. I just
say-
see you being so like I must have control of this convention. The opposite
Everything
of
must
Rebel.
be in order.
Oh man. God. All right, I know. I am going to be La Donna.
LaDonia.
Doña. La Doña, secretive and canny. You pull the strings that move the world of this convention.
That's correct. You're the secret leader behind the convention, despite what El Jefe is trying to do.
I want to be secretly needling Rebel's character for no reason. Nothing to be gained.
So good.
If I understand telenovela tropes correctly, I feel like isn't La Doña usually like a mother who's trying to like set up things for their kid?
One of the features of the La Doña playset is schemes. So the schemes can be a variety of things. They can be about other people. They can be about securing property, protecting someone, or taking revenge.
I want the revenge before.
Like 2 years ago, one of the celebrities refused to attend the event. And
it would, of course, be the twin.
Of course. Like the good twin, not the evil twin.
But that's really up to Frank to decide. So.
Alex, what do we know anything about who your characters are in the world of the convention? Because I know that you're a celebrity guest. Your brother is, or the other twin is a celebrity guest, but they're not necessarily a guest of the con, right?
So I was thinking that it would be fun if they were a guest of the con, and if of what you guys are saying, maybe it's some sort of conflict, like they refused to do the con years ago when they weren't anybody big, and now they're doing the con but asked for a huge monetary retainer to go. Like the con is paying a good amount of money to have them there, knowing that that's going to draw people in. So they were like too cool for school before, and now they're like, or even better, they were like this town's like golden child. Like this was like the thing everyone talked about. It's like with like when I don't know what town Robert Downey Jr. is from, but like when they're like, oh, we get to claim that we had Iron Man, and like, you know what I mean. And so now that I'm coming back, it should be a like, oh, you're doing your hometown a favor, but they're actually like a huge jerk about it. Like you're doing you a favor by coming to this con, kind of thing, and stuff. So maybe that you can maybe we can work with that.
Love it.
Does that sound like something you can work with, Frank?
Yeah, I like that. There's plenty of room there for machinations.
Right? Good.
Yeah, this is going to be so fun. I love it already.
All right. So the first thing everybody needs to do is choose a name for yourself. There are lists.
Okay.
If you want a nice Hispanic name. And just because you're like La Doña doesn't mean you have to be a female character. You can be a male character as well.
Also, mine doesn't have a list of names.
Oh, it doesn't.
Oh, because you're... Oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
Choose a name like your twins. That's why. Yeah. So, like, if your twin is Roberto, you would be... I don't know.
It has to be alliterative, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I got to come up with who my character is and who the twins.
All right, I'll be Octavio.
Oh, Octavia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
you male or female?
I'll do male. Octavio. I'll be
Octavio. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Mine?
Did you go for a last name on yours?
I did not. I'm tempted to be Octavio Octavius, just to be
See,
unhelpful.
So since I don't have a name on there, I was thinking something along the lines of Caesar and Brutus Romero as their
That's lovely. Yes.
Which one's the famous one?
Brutus, of course.
Yes.
You gotta play with expectations, right? You gotta.
Yes.
Brute? Oh man, now I just imagine like a very young Caesar auditioning for like a commercial, and when they get the call, they're like Brutus accidentally finds out, and that's how he got famous, is he stole your limelight.
Oh, something like that. Absolutely, 100% agree.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yep.
And just to make sure this whole thing is completely gay, I will be Federico.
Nice.
Yeah.
El Jefe.
El Jefe Federico.
All right. Choose your look. Make sure you're noting this stuff down so that you don't forget.
Oh, hold on. Let me do that then. Well, I can't just assume that you're gonna write it all down for me.
You can, I guess.
Last name Torres. A little nod to a filmmaker. Okay. Look. My look. I know exactly what the look will be. I just kind of want to look what the playset says. Oh man.
I will be Federico de la Cruz.
Nice.
Professional clothes and controlled hair. I'm trying to look up an actual picture of this character in my mind. I will find it in a moment.
So my thought is, I'm supposed to make someone who's, how close to my twin should I look? Because I'm trying to think like, what would be the attractive look for an actor versus the twin brother, and if they should look the same or if they should be like slightly different. I guess I want to be as close as possible, right? So I should be going.
It looks like your look list is like compared to, your twin. So
yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna go with. We're gonna have. I'm gonna say. Okay. So here's how I'm gonna do this. If this works for you guys, I'm gonna say I have bouncy hair and my twin has slick hair, so that I can slick my hair to look like my twin if I need to.
Yes.
All right. So that's how we're gonna play this. I'll do both the characters. I guess I'll come up with their sheets.
One should have a mustache and the other one shouldn't also, just to make it a little bit more stupid.
My favorite is like when people do the twin, but instead of being like actual twins, they do like cousins or something. Or like, one of them is male and the other one is female, but still people can't tell them apart.
One of my favorite little devices that's actually used in Days of Our Lives and has been for a little bit now to solve the twin issue is one of the villainous characters, Kristen Demera, has a mask that can look like anyone else on the show and simulate their voice. So they just grab whatever actor or actress she's supposed to be and have them play somebody playing themselves. So you'll go like a whole episode, and then at the end of the episode, you'll see that person like look at the camera and then look away, and you'll see like a fake rubber mask come up, and it's the original actress comes back. It's like,
I love that.
Me the whole time.
My favorite conceit of soap operas from recent times, and it's not at all related. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but during COVID, where a decent amount of soap operas used, or maybe not a decent amount, maybe only been one, used mannequins.
Yes.
Scenes.
Yep.
And I think actually worked it into the plot where like a character was had romantic feelings with an actual mannequin because they were like, oh, this is too ridiculous even for us. So let's give him a fetish, which, hats off to them. I'm not literally taking off my hat. Hats off to them for doing that. It was just a lot of fun.
So Federico, what do you look like?
I have styled hair, sultry eyes, and formal clothes. So I'm probably like, besides people in cosplay, I'm the only person who has, I don't have a 3-piece suit, but I do have like the slacks and the vest over a button-down shirt, right?
Okay.
And then a nice headset so that I can communicate with my people on the floor,
Okay. Nice. And then any other details, Cesar or Brutus?
Yeah. I'm going to have... All right, so I'll go through both of them. Just one second. Just put this on before I forget. All right. So Cesar is going to have slick hair, sexy eyes, and fashionable clothing. And then his identical twin is going to have bouncy hair, darker eyes... So, like, not as sexy, but definitely, like, dark and mysterious. And then he's going to basically it says dark clothes, which I picture as just the same clothes as the fashionable, but just in a darker hue. So...
Wait, I thought, are you Brutus or are you Caesar?
I'm going to be Brutus.
Okay.
And I'm the bad twin. And so I have bouncy hair with dark eyes and dark clothes. So just, like, leaning into the dark light side, dark side of it all, while
Brutus was the famous one.
You are right. No. I want. Let's do Caesar as the famous one. No. You're right. Other way around. Brutus is the famous one, and he's the fun one, while Caesar is the dark betrayer kind of one.
Nice. I love it.
Got it. You're right. Perfect.
All right. Spiritually, I'm picturing this for my character.
Yes.
Randall Weems, but the adult Randall. Disney's Recess.
Please describe it for our podcast listeners.
Randall Weems, the adult Randall Weems from Disney's. No, he's incredibly like a little Weasley, goody two shoes, helpful but only self-serving, kind of narrow, beady little eyes. The character comes off. The playbook describes a character that's more affectionate to everyone else in the world. Like everyone else thinks that they are a kindly person, but they are deceiving but underneath it. So I'm guessing like a goody two shoes that's always there to help, but is actually got some sort of strange ulterior motive for everything.
Right, but like a Weasley person played by a model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But made up to look Weasley, even though they're clearly super sexy.
Yes. Of course. No. Yes. Definitely. This.
The model always has their eyes slightly narrowed, like
yes,
thinking about something.
Like someone slicked back their hair, and they have a little fake mustache, but like clearly they could be leading man material if they were in a different project.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Probably a little older in age. Maybe they were leading man material,
okay.
And then they aged out of that role and gracefully into scumbag.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would say usually men don't usually age out of roles. I mean, just look at George Clooney.
True. But like, there's a plenty of actors who were like
I have nothing.
But he moved into the villain roles instead of the leading man roles, basically.
Yeah.
Like
basically.
John Goodman.
Yeah.
Changing his name to John Badman.
Legally required to change his name to John Badman.
All right. That's cool. And then the next bit is your relationships. There's going to be a couple of relationships listed there. So let's have tell me about those relationships.
So I have mine in mind.
Okay.
So I would say that Octavio has been a thorn in my side and a constant irritant. And I think it's because Octavio really wanted to be the organizer for the con, but got edged out of the job by me. So he's always trying to like run things behind my back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Definitely. And directly related, just so that it's Hefe is someone you've sparred with for a very long time. I'm not going to get anyone's names right until we have a shared doc that has all this information. But yeah.
And then I want to say that Brutus is an object of beauty that I have sworn to possess.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Interesting to have me be attracted to your twin so that we could play with that a little bit.
Yes, 100%. Love that.
And Caesar is like a broken little bird that I take care of.
Aww.
Actually, so which one of you is the less attractive failure?
That would
Caesar.
That is Caesar? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say less attractive. I mean, they are identical.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's stage less attractive.
Stage less attractive.
Yeah. Why, if you just take your hair out of the ponytail and take off those glasses, you can go to prom. That kind
Absolutely.
You know what I've never understood about that? Like the whole, if you took off your glasses, like glasses are not
you need those
thing that you choose to wear. They're something that you need to see.
Why are all these high school kids wearing reading glasses all the time? They need these at all.
These high schoolers bring their blue light blocking gaming glasses to school.
That would be the modern reason.
All right, Cesar.
All right, so I have two. Relationship is blank is your twin, and has something you want more than anything else in the world. And I'm going to go with the fame. I think that I've been jealous of Brutus's fame. I don't have the talent to get the fame. I just want the fame.
Right.
Yep. And then blank met you before they met your twin and can usually tell it's you. So I think that for our story, it makes the most sense for that to be Frank's character, right?
Octavio, yeah.
Yeah, that Octavio can...
Not only do you already have an established relationship with Frank's relationship, but that way my desire for your twin can be confused very often.
Yes. You shouldn't be able to tell the two of us apart. That would be...
No. Yeah.
That would... Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that a lot. And I apologize. I was in a different tab. I didn't realize everybody had changed their names, and it was very easy to reference you by your names. Federico, Caesar, and Brennan.
And Brennan.
Yeah. This is great. I like this a lot.
All right. Nice. Next step is choosing your last time on. That'll be at the beginning of the episode. There's a last time on thing. We'll deal with that when we start a first episode. You should check out your features and your moves.
These
your
are so
feature
great.
is essentially something that is unique to your character if you have one of those. The twins do not.
Yep.
So you choose two moves from your list of moves and you get your feature. Go ahead and describe those if you want once you've decided.
These are so fun.
I know it's the hard part is picking one, right? Yeah.
Throw a little podcast magic out there. Just throwing it out there. You guys tell me what you think. Do you want to wait to pick our 2 moves until we come up with what the best scenario is for them, like in game? Like, don't pre-select them and let it know what they are, but when the opportunity comes up, say I'm using X move and then explain what it is. Because I think that could be more fun than limiting limiting myself to just which 2 I pick now when all 4 of these are very good.
Well, I would say I would honestly encourage people to choose them so that you can play to them.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I think like a good thing to do would be like to choose them, but don't say them. Right? That's usually what I do. And that way, if I'm like, oh, well, I'm actually not really playing to this move, I'm playing to this other move, I can switch it without consequence.
Cool.
Right?
Then we'll just have you guys read off your features.
Yeah.
Doña.
So I get to pick 2 schemes, right?
Yes.
Oh man, these are so
Tell
fun.
everyone the scheme you've chosen, right? You can't have more than 2 schemes at a time. But you can always stop one and begin a new one at the beginning of any session.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So bring them together, I think, is going to be a little too iffy. It's choosing 2 characters and telling the world that they belong to each other, then knowing when they are not. You know what? I'm going to just limit it to what we got. I think keep them apart has to be one. Choose 2 characters. Guess which 2? Through your machinations, you are keeping them apart. When they make plans to meet, you learn of them.
So you can't make plans to meet without Octavio knowing about it.
Yes.
Nice.
Because I'm all in your PDA.
I assume it's going to be Federico and Brutus that you're keeping apart.
Yes, definitely. And when I say I'm in your PDA, I both mean your personal digital assistant and public display of affection.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't know. Opportunity. Choose someone who has, in your opinion, wronged you. Your network will let you know immediately when they are alone. That's dark. No, that's too much. Protection. Choose a character or thing your network protects. They will keep it safe from death and serious harm as long as it is under your protection. I want to see 2 sides of this personality, and I think protection is what I'll take. So I'm protecting.
Cigar, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the broken little bird that you are.
Yeah.
Broken little bird. You know what? This always happens, but like even during character creation, like when somebody comes out as like, very innocent, and I just like, I want to hug them every time I play a game.
Yeah.
Cesar's gonna be my, I just want to hold him.
We can only hope. We'll see what he does. What Caesar does.
What's your feature, El Jefe, Federico?
My feature is that I have thugs. So I have a small crew ready to enforce my plans.
Oh my God! What?
6 people. And I get to give them all names.
Nice.
I can send them to rough up a target at any time.
Why would this be necessary
for a convention organizer?
The people who are my thugs are going to be staff at the convention.
Yeah, they're the convention staff.
They're going to be.
Are they going to be security?
Yeah, they're all volunteers for sure. But like their job is to throw people out when they are being inappropriate or behaving inappropriately. But I can also abuse my power to send them after Octavio when he stops me from giving Brutus a sweet little kiss.
Me?
I know it was you, Octavio. I saw you. I saw your logs on my PDA.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I don't think we actually need to worry about any of the other stuff. That's all sort of for the beginning of the session for the last time on.
Oh
And
wait, did we find out Cesar's?
No features.
Cesar doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have features. I only have moves.
okay.
That's interesting.
Well, it's good to know that because I didn't know that.
Yeah, your twin is basically your feature.
So that's actually something I do need to talk to you about, Brendan. And part of it, I think it depends on what move I take. I actually have to select a playbook for my twin because one of my moves allows me to access moves from another playbook based on that twin's playbook. So I got to go figure out and make that. So that's the trade-off for me not having a features and stuff is that I have access to my move and the other playbook as well.
Ooh.
So.
Okay. Which is cool. I would say you can choose one of the other playbooks in here, but ones that I would suggest would be like
I was
La
gonna
Belleza
Yeah.
or
El Caballero.
Yeah, I was looking at the Belleza one. I thought that one made the most sense with what the moves are, like big entrance and stuff like that. I feel like that makes a lot of sense for my celebrity. So I think that I will make. Are we going to do this on like Roll20 or anything like that? Is there a form fillable sheets like you've done in the past?
I can create a little character keeper for us for this. If
Okay. Yeah, Oh, cool. I just want to keep track of my stuff, and keeping track of 2 sheets is going to be a lot easier than one.
I love my conditions. I love them. Righteous, superior, ruminative, and cautious.
Raging, lustful, righteous, and reactive.
I just love that they're different for everyone. Yeah.
Yep. I got lustful, raging, underhanded, and zealous.
Nice.
No, sorry, that's not mine. That's the other one I was looking at. Mine are cornered, driven, guarded, and introspective.
Ooh, very
nice.
sexy. I'm just so looking forward to the interplay between my romantic feelings and your sneaky underhandedness. It's going to be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Octavio's secret plans pulling the strings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to see what those are.
I'm so excited for this.
All right, so I guess all our audience should hope that we get sick again real soon, or whatever happened to us.
Whatever happened that made this be the podcast that you're listening to, right?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Hope that Frank finally tracks down Alex and he has to flee once more.
Yeah, that's right. I heard, and he has to flay once more. And I'm like, how many times have I killed Alex?
Yeah, the ARG is very dark.
It's like Sandman, Cain, and Abel here.
Oh, why can't we see Alex's camera right now, huh? No skin?
No skin.
Skin's up. Skin's here. Just no hat.
Yeah, so do we we didn't talk about it during session 0, but do we want to talk about lines and veils this session?
We should talk about it this session before we start.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a lines and veils tab on the character keeper.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things that are already listed there that we can go ahead and mark as to whether they are lines, veils, something you should ask first about before you bring it in,
Ooh,
or
that's
something
neat.
you're interested in seeing.
Cool. If this gets edited into our actual episode 0, you may have questions about why our hats have changed. If so, send the self-addressed stamped envelope to somebody, because we're not going to answer it.
All right, I made a room for your party link.
Yay. I'm also I'm gonna try to share the lines and veils just because I think it's cool. We'll see if we could do that. No audio. Share that baby.
When we are recording for those at home who may not know what lines and veils are. I think we should explain it too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just a quick
A line
rundown
is
with everyone at
something
home.
that you do not include in the fiction at all. It is not acceptable. A veil is something that will be included but will not be on screen. You draw a veil across it, basically. Ask first would be if you're about to bring it in, you need to get the temperature of the room. And then interested, of course, is something that you definitely want to see show up in game.
Mhm.
Yes, we don't want any explicit sexual content. We want that veiled. Which
Yes.
is legit.
So just to go over what we have so far, we have lines for harm to children, sexual assault, slavery, homophobia, and domestic violence, and a veil on sexual content.
This is a great sheet. My one thin complaint is I wish the whole thing would have gone. It's hard for me because for a minute there I was like, somebody put a veil through excessive grieving. Oh no, but no, that wasn't it. Okay,
It was excessive.
Actually,
It was graphic gore.
So there is a way to do that. Actually,
yeah, if you click the number,
let me
which
see
I'm
if
sharing
I
right
can
now, the way
do
I'm doing it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's some in here that would make things definitely difficult, like the excessive grieving or seducing someone while guises another player.
Yeah.
As those are like
I
direct
think-
parts of the
I think-
character.
Part of
Yeah.
part of the twin character, there's definitely going to be some of that going on. So should
do
talk
we
about
want
it.
to mark that as an ask first, right?
That might be a
like-
good idea.
If somebody has, if somebody wants, put ask first on there.
I mean, like, that's the thing, right? I put Brutus as my love interest because I expected there to be situations where Federico
Cesar,
Yeah.
is thinking that Cesar is his love interest
yes.
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of
So
who it
yeah,
actually is.
for
So are you interested
think-
in seeing that content?
Yes. But
Okay, so but you do want it to be asked first.
I think that's important because I'm interested in that content, but other people might not be.
Okay.
I'm also
Sure.
interested in that content. So in this case, I think we've either all moved
Yeah.
for interested, or we could be interested in ask first. I think that seems
I think you
reasonable.
can do both. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah. There we go.
I will say too, for those who are at home, can everyone hear me? Am I talking?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
you're good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, okay. Perfect. No, it's fine. I'm just worried at this internet. I think that it would be interesting too for people at home, or I think that if I were to do this again, I might wait to pick my playbook until after we've done these, because if
That
someone
might
like
be a good idea.
I wouldn't have
yes.
picked the twin if I knew somebody was going to do right. Like I think if we were to do
Right.
this over again, maybe we start with lines and veils and then work backwards.
Yeah. One of the obstacles we have
Just a
for
thought.
being so chummy and knowing each other so well is that I think we did a really quick episode 0. If this were a con or something, yeah, definitely advice would be to get that done first and then pick playbooks.
Yeah.
The other advice I would give is to establish like who people are comfortable having romances with, like as real players, not as in fiction characters. Because, for example, I play a lot of games with my family, and I don't want to have a romance with my aunt because it feels a little weird to me. That's not to say it feels weird to everybody, but like that's another consideration you can make. Like maybe there's a person at the table who has a specific orientation, and so they're like, I'm not comfortable with my character having romances outside of my own orientation.
I just zoomed in is that could be in the notes section. So the next chart we're showing for people watching the stream is the romance table, which has PCs, NPCs, and then you could choose based on player name whether you're interested in it, maybe or no. I guess you could put notes in there, like I could put down yes, but not with, etc.
Right.
Obviously,
Or-
even that is got some potential blowback, depending on what. But
I
communication
think
is
we
good.
should put our characters' sexual orientations in there, so we know, like, if an NPC comes into play as a romantic interest, is your character gonna be interested in them based on their orientation, right? Like, if I decide Federico is gay, then he's only going to have romances with other men.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but I would think, is it also fun? At least let's decide this now, to find out in play.
I
right?
think it's okay.
If we all are okay with finding out in play.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay with finding out in play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know. I almost want to be surprised by, like, you know what, this works. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to do. Yeah. All right.
But again, that's something to discuss when you are, doing this in a different setting when you're not us.
Mhm.
Whether you have an orientation in mind for your character, whether you want them to have romance, whether, you don't want to have romance with specific people because of vibes. Those are all valid things. Yeah.
Experience with this group. Do we want to put mind control in this list and line it out? Okay.
Yes, because that is a pulpy trope that can occur in.
All right, and I'm going to put some stuff in.
Mind control. I am totally cool with people manipulating explosives.
In fact, it is interest of mine. Oops, I zoomed in too much. Sorry, folks watching this at home. Okay, so I want to put in some interest stuff just to make it easier on Brennan and to make sure that this is, this is fun. That's a big.
It's not all things we're not wanting to see. Yeah.
I have no idea if I'm multi-selecting at this point because I hit shift. Sorry, folks. I'll try. I want. I would like a lot of soliloquies, I think, is what I'm looking for. I want there to be I want there to be moments where people are definitely trying to get whatever the equivalent of the Daytime Emmy Award is.
Yes. Yeah. What I want is characters put in impossible situations. That moment in the show when someone has to be in the same place as two different people.
Yeah.
And they have to figure out, how am I going to convince half these people that I'm Jose and the other half of these people that I'm actually Paulina, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How do people feel about this one? Just to challenge Brennan. Sharks. I want there to be sharks.
I will get sharks in there. I tell you what.
All right. Yeah, there's some sort of sweep thing happening.
I want there to be
crossover with Shark Week
at this comic book convention.
I don't know how it's going to happen, but I want there to be sharks.
Make it happen.
And I'm okay with amnesia. I want there to be an amnesia plot, even if it's only temporary.
I'm good with amnesia.
Alex?
Amnesia's fine with me.
All right. I think that's a couple of fun things to do.
The other thing I want to see is some, not just sharks, but some wild supernatural shit.
The devil showing up.
Yeah.
The devil trying to take somebody's baby, or trying to put the soul of your dead brother into somebody who's in a coma, or your mom gave you an amulet that grants you a wish or something like that.
I'm going to throw one out there that they could somehow work into some of these, mix it in. Since we're doing a con as the place, costume contest.
Yes. I love it.
I feel like
I'm
I feel like a cosplay contest or costume contest has a lot of potential for fun stuff to happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How about I'll delete it if we don't like it. Promotional branding opportunities.
Yes. Cross promotional branding. Absolutely. People are going to be drinking in this fictional universe where this show is set, branded drinks.
And it's got to be mixed berry Coke, our original sponsor.
Oh my gosh, the Diet Coke.
It's berry Coke. I remember that now.
Well, that's a callback, isn't it? That's a deep cut.
Oh yeah, extremely.
They're going to be eating at like Subway restaurants. I don't know. Fucking, they're going to wear Under Armour. All that shit.
All that.
Yeah.
I can't wait until like a Marvel movie's coming out and guest starring Benedict Cumberbatch as person at hotel.
Person at hotel. Doctor Strange, what are you doing here?
Yes. All right. Yeah, I like this.
At the costume contest, it's actually Benedict Cumberbatch cosplaying Doctor Strange.
Nice.
He wins.
He gets third place.
Yes, third place. Just goes back to that Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest where he didn't win.
Legendary.
There was what it was. I think it was Dolly Parton who lost a look-alike contest to a drag queen.
Yeah.
Which is rad. I love it.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I think we have our lines and veils.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that one of the default options on here is spiders.
I think a lot of people are afraid of spiders.
It comes up a lot, yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with spiders.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in spiders. If everyone's okay with spiders, I'm going to mark them as interested. Okay,
sure.
Cool. Wonderful. I love that.
All right.
All right.
But yeah, this list is actually informed a great deal by things that actually happen a lot on telenovelas. So that's one of the reasons some of this stuff is on here. Great. I think we're about ready to roll. Anything else anyone wants to add before we start?
I'm excited to play next week. I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll start this next week. Or actually, more accurately, the next time one of us falls ill.
True.
I hope somebody gets by the end of this arc, I hope our fans have voodoo dolls out. They're like, come on, miss a week. I need to know what happens. What's
going on with Pasión de las Pasiones?
Yes. All right. Bye, everyone, and we'll see you again next time. Hey there, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Dungeon Not Included. If you did, please tell a friend and leave us a 5-star review and encouraging comments on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. It really does help spread the word for new shows like ours. You can follow the latest from the Dungeon Not Included crew on Twitter at DNI Crew, and over at Facebook at Dungeon Not Included, or at our home on the Non-Productive Network at non-productive.com/DNI Crew, where you can find articles, character sheets, and Patreon exclusives, as well as our latest episodes. Thanks!
This has been a Non-Productive Media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.